Hey guys, this is Joel of Paintball. Today we have Tyler, one of our special guests. He's a big Shocker fan. We are doing the Shocker amp versus the G-Tech 170R. It's a very popular comparison video that everybody's been wanting to see. If you guys like this video, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on all social media platforms. And if you would like to pick up either of these markers, head on over to punisherspb.com. Alright guys, so I have the G-Tech 170R. Tyler?
I got the new Shocker amp.
And that's actually your personal one that you're just picking up today, correct?
Yep. Yes.
Okay, so first thing that we're going to talk about is we are going to talk about the cases. So my G-Tech 170R comes in a nice box. I'm going to open up the case here. Tyler, what about you?
Mine, standard Shocker case, just came in plastic.
Okay. All right, and yours has it's almost like a hard
yet soft carbon fiber feel. It's great though.
Hard but soft. Yeah. All right, so this is an aluminum case that comes with the Planet Eclipse 170Rs. It's basically the same case that comes with all Planet Eclipse markers. Nice zipper here, just kind of similar in that sense to your Shocker there, Tyler.
Yep.
I'm going to open mine up. I have a manual, full-out manual. Definitely a nice thing with Planet Eclipse guns. Tyler?
I got my quick start guide here.
Okay, and as far as an actual manual, you can access all that stuff online.
Yes.
I like the fact that Planet Eclipse does full-out paper manuals. Definitely an upside and a seller, in my opinion, compared to the Shocker.
Yes.
Barrel bags, standard barrel bags, nothing unique there. Tyler, you have a parts kit.
Yes.
And I have a parts kit as well. Yours comes in this
nice little case here.
Box.
Yeah.
I would say that parts kit wise, the G-Tech 170R definitely wins it. Just because there's a lot more options. Everything is labeled. Yours is not.
Correct.
Right.
It seems like the 170 has more quantity of each.
Correct. Yeah. Correct. Yeah, definitely. So. The Planet Eclipse lube, it's 20 milliliters. I'm not exactly sure how much that equates to as far as ounces.
And then I got my 1 ounce here.
Yeah, so I think that's
smart parts.
Right, so I think Planet Eclipse comes with more lube. So really, here's what I'm going to say. As far as the case goes, I think the 170R wins over the Shocker amp in every sense besides the Allen keys.
Yeah.
You get better Allen keys. But the manual is a big selling point for me when it comes to 170R. So is the lube and the parts kit. Just personal preference there. So, Tyler, why don't we talk about price next? We'll talk about that, then we can talk about the guns a little bit.
The Shocker amp comes in right around $900. Being brand new, just released really this weekend. Thanks when they first started shipping them out. Yep.
I'm going to put this back here real quick. Alrighty, so first thing that we're going to talk about price. So the amp comes in at a price point of $899.95. The Planet Eclipse G-Tech 170R comes in at a price point of $799.99. So the question becomes, is the Shocker amp worth the extra investment of $100? So we're going to explore that. So first things first, why don't we compare barrel systems here? So what do you have?
I got the Freak XL. Tried and true for years. It's always worked.
So it comes with inserts, right?
Yes, it comes with the standard 687 insert.
And both of these are auto cocker thread. So needless to say, you're going to be able to upgrade either one just as simple. So you have a 687 insert in your Freak XL. I'd like to point out that the insert or the bore master's overall length is larger on that than with the Planet Eclipse shaft barrel system. This is a 689 back. You have spiral porting. This is linear porting, and you can get different backs for this. You can also just choose to upgrade. But as far as purchasing matching upgraded barrels and everything else like that, I don't think that's an option. But you can get a shaft FR. You can get other shaft barrel backs for that. Whereas that. Yeah. All you gotta do is spend, $15 per XL insert to get a few different sizes.
Or just get your War Master kit, and it's every insert that's out there.
Right.
And you're ready to go.
Yeah, and I would say that this is probably a little bit heavier than that. We're gonna do an overall weight comparison. I don't think there's any need to weigh just the barrels themselves, but overall barrel wise, I'm gonna say that your Shocker amp probably takes it. just because the Freak XL barrel system is definitely a high-end barrel system as compared to Eclipse's barrel system would probably be like the FL barrel system. It's going to be like their high-end model, whereas like you already get that with the shocker amp. So, all right, what about batteries?
Batteries, unfortunately, the Eclipse definitely wins on battery.
Yes, so with this, that's kind of what I was trying to get at there. So there you have it. You can access your 9-volt battery right there with the G-Tech 170R.
Where I have 3 screws that I have to take out to actually access my battery compartment.
So that is definitely ease of access thing that the 170R wins on over the shocker amp. The other thing is the eye covers with the 170R is just one latch mechanism there. Very simple to take that off and then pop it back together, whereas with the shocker,
it is the 1 Allen head screw.
Correct. So one thing that they did do with the shocker amp though was they increased the size of the Allen screw so that you're not going to have as many issues with stripping as you did with the shocker XLS, which is nice. So trigger frame wise, this is probably one area where you kind of win it out, right?
Yeah, I definitely think there's a lot more room here from the actual trigger to the front of the guard. Size wise, I think they're pretty close. But I still think the amp wins on this one just with this extra groove here. It allows more room for you to actually move.
Yeah, that's I would agree with you on that. You know, that's one thing. The other thing is this does not have grooved, your grip does not have grooved areas to put your fingers. I like that on the shocker amp.
Came in, yeah.
Yeah, as far as ASA goes, that's a screw ASA. This is a pops ASA, so the pops ASA, you just press that in to engage your air. You press this button to take it out or to unengage your air, whereas the screw there is
just screw in, screw out.
Yep. But the big difference that we should mention is the conversion with the shocker amp from electronic to mechanical. So Tyler, you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So with mine, with the new shocker amp, you have one screw here. You pop that out, and it is very simple of just literally unhinging it, and it's ready to go for the new CC conversion that'll be out later this year.
Yep. So classic conversion kit. It's going to be available here soon. The other thing too is it's toolless when it comes to taking off your solenoid, so you don't have to worry about swapping out your solenoid, which was a problem with the XLS, converting the XLS to the CVO and back, right? So the G-Tech 170R also has a mechanical option. It's just the mech frame for the 170R. It retails at a price point of $150, which is a nice thing. The problem is it only comes in 2 colors, which I wish there were more colors. The shocker amp only comes in 1 color, which is black, at least, which is the CVO frame. But I would say the level of ease to switch that out from electronic to mechanical, the shocker wins that.
And that's nothing to go against the 170 because the 170 is very simplified as far as for converting. They're both great platforms to convert from electric to mechanical. But with ease, I would definitely get it to the amp. Yeah,
I would agree with that as well. All right, let's talk about bolt systems first. So to access the gamma core on the G-Tech 170R, you're going to lift this, which the very first time it's a little tricky. As you can tell, this is a brand new gun. It gets a lot easier after the first time though. So that just lifts and you pull it out to access the gamma core of the Eclipse 170R. Q?
And mine is just a simple, not even a quarter turn twist, and it comes straight out.
Boom. And there is the amp core. So let's talk a little bit of the difference between the amp core as compared to the gamma core. Lots of people talking about the fact that it's the exact same core and everything else like that. To the naked eye here, I do see a few differences. It looks like the volume chamber on that is larger than the volume chamber on the gamma core. The operating pressure on that is about 110 psi, and this is 135 psi. So efficiency wise, probably expecting the shocker amp to do better. We were able to get 12 pods off of a 6845. We have not done an efficiency test yet with the G-Tech 170R, so that is something that we will be doing to compare the two. You want to take it fully apart, talk about maintenance?
And this bolt reminds me highly of the Lux X
Okay.
from the previous marker that I owned. It's very similar to the Lux X.
This out of the way here. Okay, so there you have it. Yeah, I get what you're saying. So the bolt size is different significantly, right?
Yeah.
So the Gamma Core bolt is about probably, I don't know, probably a centimeter longer than the bolt can is larger with the Gamma Core as compared to the shocker amp. And then you have your volume chamber, and as you can see, the volume chamber is
almost double.
It's almost double.
Yeah.
So for those people that are saying it's the exact same, it's not. There's your difference right there. There's your bolt can between both of them. But like you said, I would like to compare it to a Lux X.
I would too, because it's almost the same. If it's not, everything about it to me screams Lux X bolt.
Okay. I would have to agree there.
Yeah.
The biggest difference as far as the bolt goes, in my opinion, is the fact that it doesn't have the ice coating to the bolt system. But I've heard a few people shooting in cold weather already with the shocker amp, and they've had zero issues, which is really nice.
And I know, speaking of cold weather, I know Corey Field had mentioned they were practicing in less than 30-degree weather before World Cup, and they were shooting great.
Yep. So I think either of these markers, like, you're going to be able to shoot in cold weather. They're going to be reliable. They're going to shoot brittle paint. Other thing that I'm noticing is that this is not a hollow bolt face, whereas the shocker amp is, but you can get the soft tip bolt for the Gamma Core, which is really nice. The ST3 bolt, which is really nice. So overall, bolt systems are similar. I wouldn't say that they're completely the same. I like the twist out mechanism of the shocker amp, but I will say this: I don't like how it comes out the back. Right, like I play really close to my face, and I would say that that's going to be really annoying to me.
This little bit here.
Yeah. Right. So whereas like the 170R doesn't have that,
it's a lot better smooth going into the actual body itself.
Exactly. Like I think ease of access with the 170R, right? It's another point where the 170R wins.
Yeah.
But overall functionality, I think the shocker amp is going to take it. Like we've shot both. We're going to do a shooting comparison here in a little bit, and I would say the shocker amp takes it in that sense. As far as the feed neck goes,
I mean, they're both low rise. They're great clamping feed necks. There's not, a whole lot to argue about it. I mean, you got the big thumb wheel. I think the 170 has a little bit bigger and a little deeper grooves.
Right.
For adjustment. But again, when we're comparing these, we're almost nitpicking stuff. They're both great.
Definitely.
That has a larger thumb wheel. The eye covers, you got a screw versus taking the grip and popping a latch. It's nitpicking great markers, no matter what. Personally, though, I'm a fanboy. I gotta go with the shocker all day.
So let's talk about, like, why would you choose one over the other, right? So in my opinion, ease of access, the 170R takes it. I would say overall functionality as far as the gun shooting and the ergonomics, I'm going to say the shocker amp takes it because I think that the shocker amp is going to be a little bit more efficient, lower operating pressure and all that stuff. I like the trigger of the shocker amp more. The 170R is definitely thicker in the hands, and I don't like how short this front portion, the foregrip is.
They made it real fat but not long.
Yeah, right, exactly. So like I'm a big guy, and if it feels fat, which it doesn't feel necessarily bad, but I like the thinness of the shocker. But yeah, so barrel system, the shocker amp takes it. Feed neck is similar, there's no winner there. Bolt system, I would say the shocker amp takes it. But overall ease of access and the features of the battery system and the eye covers, 170R takes it. So with that said, we're going to shoot both outside. We're going to do a little shooting comparison video, and then we're going to come back and do a summary. Okay, guys, so we're outside. We have the G-Tech 170R, as well as Tyler's personal shocker amp that was just hand-delivered to him today. And we are going to do a shooting comparison. Both of these guns are shooting right around 280 feet per second. My chrono here somewhere.
You got it.
He's got it. Okay, why don't you chrono yours first? All right, so right in the 280 range. Thank you, Tyler. 274, 270. 268, 267. All right, both guns are right in that 280 range. We're going to do a shot comparison between both. Go ahead.
See, now I have an idea. Y'all switch guns since you're just shooting one or the other. Talk about what you feel that's different. All right.
So first thing, right off the rip, this is definitely skinnier, as we had mentioned in the video. This definitely feels lighter. We're gonna weigh it as well. But as far as shot goes, I'll say this seems a little bit more poppy, like a little bit more kick, I would say. But at the same time, I like the shot more than I would say the 170R. That seems a little bit smoother. What do you think, Hugh?
Yeah, I mean, it feels smoother, but I'm still diehard shocker. I definitely like the shocker more. I've actually owned a 170 and still prefer the shocker over it, especially the amp now. After feeling it just even brand new, I like that hands down over this.
Yeah, I think this feels better in the hands as far as shot goes, you know. I don't know, I'd say that it's relatively comparable on everything as far as sound signature and everything else like that. I would say the 170R is probably a little bit quieter, but that's also economy and like a little bit lower than the shocker amp. But overall relatively comparable. Alright guys, so there you have it. That is the shooting comparison between the 170R and the shocker amp. So with that said, the last thing that we're going to do is we are going to weigh the markers. So Q, you want to do the honors here? Alright, so I think it was 1 pound 12 ounces or 1 pound 11.9 ounces is what we weighed in earlier. And then we have the G-Tech 170R, so we're going to put that on. Both of these are weighed with battery and a barrel. And 1 pound 14.4 ounces. So this is it's about 2.5 ounces heavier than the G-Tech 170R. So with that said, guys, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, the 170R and the shocker amp. If you guys like this video, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Head on over to punisherspb.com to purchase either of these markers, or if you'd like to trade in your used marker for one of these beautiful new markers, you can fill out a trade-in form on the website to do that. And as always, make sure you subscribe and follow us on social media.